Matt with Let's Talk Music. I'm here with, I'm going to have to say, 15-year-old Prodigy drummer, Thomas Thunder. And Thomas, how we doing today?
I'm doing well. How are you doing?
I'm doing great. So, the new single, Duplicity, um, liked it, loved it actually. You
Thank you.
you definitely have quite a bit of talent on that drum set. And then I noticed that, your track features some pretty big stars, I mean, Derek from Dream Theater, Bumblefoot from Guns N' Roses, and, Tony Franklin from Quiet Riot and Whitesnake. I mean, how did you recruit them?
Well, it all started with getting Derek Sherinian. I began working with him 3 years ago, and Derek suggested for my album that I released last year that we get Ron Bumblefoot Thal on guitar and Tony Franklin on bass. And it just went from there. I've been using them for 2 years now, Tony
Hmm.
Franklin and Ron Bumblefoot Thal, and they are just phenomenal musicians.
Yeah, I actually enjoyed I mean, I'm an original Guns N' Roses fan, so, Slash has always been my dude, but Bumblefoot was a good fill in for him.
Mm-hmm.
So the debut album is The Pharaoh's Temple. That was released back in 2021.
Yes, correct. September 2021.
And is this the first single off of that?
Which one? Duplicity?
Yes.
No, this is a separate single
Okay.
from the album. This
Okay.
isn't from the album.
Oh, it's not just something that you made or
Well, it is something that I made, but it's separate from the album.
okay. So I seen you got quite a bit of YouTube videos doing
Mhm.
like covers of Van Halen and stuff like that.
Yes.
What I seen that you started lessons at 5, but what like made you say, "Hey, I want to play drums?"
Well, my parents noticed that before I started drum lessons that I was just banging around on things um, constantly, and that I almost had a knack for the instrument. So they set me up with drum lessons, and
Hmm.
it just kind of went from there.
Now Massachusetts got a pretty good music scene out there. I mean, you got a lot
Mhm.
of veteran rockers out there, that were from there, Aerosmith, Godsmack, whatnot. Or any of them guys any kind of influence on you? I mean, where do you draw your influence from?
Well, a lot of progressive metal bands like Dream Theater, Sons of Apollo, and Tool.
Oh,
And
okay. Danny Carey fan, huh?
yes, very much so.
Yeah, that guy's phenomenal on drum set. So, in your press release, I read that you started writing music at 10 years old. I mean,
Yes, that's correct.
so what is it? What's your writing process? Tell me about that.
Well, usually I will start with a melody, and that would be usually either on the keyboards or on the guitar, something like that. And then usually once I have a melody, other ideas begin sprouting into my head, and usually I'll come up with like a guitar riff or um, a bass line or something like that. And then I'll have a complete section of a song. And then once I have a complete section of a song, I just go from there. And some songs tend to take 2 weeks, some songs take a day to write, some songs take 2 months to write. It's different for every song.
Hmm. Now, when you go through this process, are you writing for the entire band, or do they?
Yes,
Okay, so they don't kick in their parts. You just hand them the music and say, "This is it."
yes, I do. That's what I do, except for the solos.
Okay, so the guitar solos, is that what you're talking about, or?
Yeah, the guitar solo and the keyboard solo.
Oh, okay.
I write everything besides that.
Well, that's pretty amazing, man. I mean, it's just I wish that at your age I had the talent because I still couldn't write a song if I tried. And it's yeah, I've talked to a lot of musicians and they'll tell me it's easy, when you know what you're looking to do or whatever. But even like when I think of, I guess I'm more of a 80s 90s rock kind of guy. That was the era I grew up in, and it was Poison, Warrant, Skid Row, bands like that. So when I tend to think of a song, it's kind of, got that, I don't know, it's like almost like a love song. And I'm like, yeah, I'm not a love song kind of guy. So, but I really do. I admire your talent, man. I mean, that's very impressive, especially, at 15 years old. And I mean, also I seen that you was awarded a prize in Eventide Theater for a songwriting competition.
Yep, that's correct. That was my song, A New Kitten, which was the first song I ever published when I was 10 years old. It's not on Spotify, it's on SoundCloud. But, yep, I was awarded a prize at this competition at 10 years old.
So you've been on social media for a while then.
Yes, I have.
Okay.
Been on
And
Instagram for 4 years, and I've been on YouTube for 7 years.
oh wow. That's just almost half your life. I just got onto YouTube. My whole thing is I'm just like I said, I don't have much talent when it comes to music. So my talent is remembering just useful and useless information about bands. And I would talk to my wife about it, and she's like, why don't you start a blog or something? I'm not into it like you are. I said, okay. So I started my blog, and then I thought, hey, why not try to interview some bands? And it's been pretty good so far. I mean, I've not one person I did was Keith Wallen from Breaking Benjamin,
Hmm.
Tommy Vex. I've done a couple of what would you call them? I guess industry musicians, but most of them are independent. And I find that with independent musicians, the DIY work ethic with them is amazing. And are you currently working with any record companies or any
No,
labels?
I'm
So
not.
you're just DIY.
Yes.
Yeah, and I think that's anymore. I think that's the best way to go. I mean, because it's the music industry has changed so much over the years. You don't have MTV anymore. You don't have album sales
Hmm.
anymore. So a lot of bands are releasing a single, and then they'll go 2 weeks out and release another one. Because they'll talk about the short attention span of people. Like they'll hear this song, and then like 2 weeks later, like I'm done with it, so they slap them with a new one. So I mean,
Hmm.
is that kind of how you operate? I mean, do your parents help you at all with like your management?
Yes, my parents helped me a ton with my management and everything like that. And the way I operate, what I'm thinking of doing is trying to release a single now every few months.
Hmm.
Because I think that would be best. Because honestly, most people don't listen to complete albums. They'd
Right,
rather listen to singles because of streaming.
right.
So I think it's a good plan to try to release a single every 3 or so months.
Yeah, yeah. And I think that's like everybody's headspace now is, it's again with people you saying don't listen to full albums, or the attention span is short. Like I'll look at my analytics for my YouTube, and I'll see that like the average watch time of a video is about 13, 14 minutes, you know,
Mm-hmm.
and I some of them are 25, 30 minutes long. And I think, either they're watching some of it and they're like, oh, I'm moving on to the next thing, or they're kind of skimming through it and getting parts that they want or whatever. But, to me, it's more of just it's a hobby, man. I do it for fun. I do it because I love music. And I mean, I'm 46 years old, and I envy you. You have an amazing talent, and I wish that I would have had that kind of dedication when I was younger. But I was more interested in girls and what I was going to do, once I got out of high school. So, but also you're going to Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
That is another just phenomenal achievement. I mean, Berkeley is a tough school to get into. I'm sure you know that. So, how does that work with your high school career?
Well, I'm doing kind of dual enrollment. I'm taking Berkeley courses and I'm also doing high school. I'm homeschooled.
Okay. And you're specializing in music theory and performance.
Yes, I've also been taking some drum courses at Berkeley as well, and I've taken a music theory 101 course.
Okay. And how do you feel about Mike Portnoy?
Oh, Mike Portnoy is amazing.
Yeah, yeah, he went to Berkeley.
Mm-hmm.
So, and I know he was what was it, the second youngest drummer ever to be inducted into the Percussion Hall of Fame besides Neil Peart. So who knows? Maybe number three could be Thomas Thunder. I mean, I'm telling you, I'm not. I'm not like a producer or anything like that, but I know good music when I hear it, and I think that you really do. And obviously, the musicians that you work with feel like you have a very bright future in drumming.
Hmm.
And I mean, how do you feel about it? I mean, is it something that you love doing, or is it kind of? I mean,
Of course, music is my life.
that's awesome. Mine too. I just, like I said, don't play it. So, what's your tell me about your kit. What kind of drums do you use, cymbals, stuff like that?
Well, I use a D drum kit.
Hmm.
Um, I use drill cymbals.
Okay. And do you have like a preferred stick?
I use solo beat drumsticks.
Okay.
5A.
All right. So see, now we're giving some plugs here, and get you some promoters and back you up. So what about live performances? How many of those do you do?
Um, well, I don't do any live performances that, are my own solo project. I'm enrolled in a band program that does some gigging, but I don't do anything for myself, like for Thomas Thunder, because the songs that I write are very hard for the local musicians to play.
Hmm.
I've tried multiple times to, try to get some musicians to play some of my own songs, and it usually doesn't end up working because of how hard the songs are to play.
And see that, and that in itself is impressive. I mean, that your quality of music that you're writing is so difficult that local guys that can go out there and wail on a guitar or a bass are like, man, I can't do this. So that is very impressive. And I mean, I get why you've, recruited these guys that are, you know, awesome musicians. I mean, Derek, obviously, coming from Dream Theater. I mean, that's one of
Mhm.
the probably the one of the best progressive bands out there.
Yes, definitely.
And I'll tell you what, you want to check somebody out. Oh my God, what was their name? I did a band from Italy. They're a progressive metal band, Virtual Symmetry. Have you
Oh,
ever?
I've done something with virtual symmetry. Yeah, I was in a drum contest. They did a drum contest 2 years ago, virtual symmetry,
Mm-hmm.
and I entered in it and I won the contest. There's a video of me online. If you search Entropia, Thomas Thunder, it should come up.
Oh wow, I'm gonna have to check that out because I was thoroughly impressed with them guys, and I felt that was a great interview. And I'm glad that they're getting around out here because I didn't know that anybody else around here had heard of them. So that's cool, man.
I've heard of them.
So um, what's you're going to achieve a Berkeley professional drum certificate at the end of the winter spring quarter in 2023. What does that entail?
Well, the professional drum certificate will be absolutely amazing to get because it's something from Berkeley College to say
Right.
that I have professional drum certificate, which is gonna be great.
So what's next for you, man? I mean, are you just gonna keep writing and putting music out, or I mean, we're gonna see some more covers?
Yep, I'm gonna continue going on this path of writing more songs, getting them out there, and doing covers on. I primarily do covers, drum covers on Instagram. Um, I'll put some stuff out on YouTube. So I'm just gonna continue going down this path of getting myself out there.
Gotcha. So you being 15 years old and in high school still and being this talented, I'm sure you got the girls knocking your door down, don't you? No, it's I mean, I'm really am I'm impressed with. I mean, you don't. It's awesome to talk to you because a lot of times I see these young musicians. Did you ever see the Chinese kid that I think he was Chinese or Japanese that did the guitar work with Ozzy Osbourne?
No, I'm not sure who that
Can't think
is.
of his name, but I mean, he was like 9 years old and was playing uh oh Bark at the Moon and songs like that. I mean, he was phenomenal. And you see these younger guys and these younger girls that are playing instruments like Metal Cohen and different drummers, guitar players, whatever. And it's like you never really get a chance to say, hey, you're amazing. And I think that when people watch this video and they'll see, because I'll put a description of Duplicity in the well, not a description, but a link to Duplicity in the description. And I mean, once people see that, if they haven't yet, they're definitely going to be impressed.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you got to be just so proud of yourself.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, but anyways, Thomas, I'm gonna go ahead and let you back to what you was doing. I will definitely look forward to new music from you. I want to definitely check out that Virtual Symmetry because I said I love them guys. Did you actually get to meet them or play with them, or how did that go?
That was during the lockdown, so they did the contest all virtually.
Oh yeah. So, but you did get to talk to them like online.
No, there wasn't, believe it or not, there wasn't any kind of like Zoom meetings or anything like that.
Hmm.
I did is I just they did a contest and we sent their my drum video. Um, and I'm not sure how many other people submitted, but I happened to win the contest, and they have a video of it online.
Okay. Yeah. I definitely want to check that out. I might even put that in the description and tag them. So yeah, man, I love it. Definitely want to try to do my part to get you as much exposure possible. Because I mean, you dude, you got a great talent, and I mean, you're way ahead of the curve, man. I mean, I talk to guys that are 20s, 30s, whatever, and they're struggling to make it in music, and look at you, you're kicking at 15, man. That's awesome.
Thank you.
All right, Thomas. Well, I appreciate your time. Let your parents know that I appreciate them letting you talk to me. And, I will get this edited and up on YouTube, and I'll send Shauna a link so that she can send it to you. And like I said, man, we'll look forward to some new material from you.
Great.
All right. Well, you have a good evening.
All right, bye, Matt.
Bye.